The case against Jay-Z will be dismissed. Jay-Z's attorney just dropped the motion for sanctions against Tony Busby, which tells me that in return, the case will be dismissed. There is no hard evidence against Jay-Z or P. Diddy in this situation from what I understand. Oh yeah, let's get into some of this straight game.
Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor. Click on what appears to be the thumbs up button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be the little bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that the initial announcing of something criminal does not get as much publicity as something that's not going in the favor or in the direction in which a lot of the media would like it to go from that perspective. So when the announcement was made about Jay-Z and, you know, Sean P. Diddy Combs and this VMA thing with this young lady who was underage at about 13 and alleging that Jennifer Lopez, without even having to mention her, if you did the research behind what was going on, you know that Sean P. Diddy Combs was dating Jennifer Lopez and was with her on the night in question. So there could have been no other person with Sean P. Diddy Combs other than Jennifer Lopez. Well, recent news has it that Jay-Z and his attorney has dropped the motion for sanctions against the lawyer in that case by the name of Tony Busby. And what that really means, from what I can see, is the case against Jay-Z is going to be dropped or dismissed, either one of the two. There is no evidence. We've seen Jay-Z recently at the Super Bowl and at the Grammys with his beautiful wife Beyonce and his children. And to me, it just speaks volumes as to how far they've come in this case, if you will. And so, like I said, yeah, the sanctions motion has been dropped. And the only reason I can see that, because what Jay-Z's lawyer was alleging was partially true in the vetting of the plaintiff's case against Jay-Z, and alleging certain things. And when you do the research, you can see that the house that they said that this alleged situation happened at doesn't exist. You had people denying that the young lady said she met certain people at this party. The people who were celebrities weren't there, and all of the other things. But more importantly, it says legal findings just recently reveal those latest developments in the multifaceted courtroom confrontation. Last time everyone had been notified about it. Like I said, you're not going to hear when things get dismissed and things kind of slide to the side, and you're not going to hear the same roar as you heard when the allegations were made. You know, the retraction is usually made on the back of the page, in the left side corner in the little box, you know, but the allegations are made on the front page, if you will. And so when you understand that, so yeah, Jay-Z in early January kicked off the aforementioned attempt to sanction Tony Busby, a Houston-based lawyer, basically, who was reportedly representing over 200 alleged victims of Diddy, and one of the individuals added Jay-Z as a defendant in December of 2024 in an amended complaint, right? In short, now the adult accuser maintains that that Diddy and Jay-Z had did some things that were unbecoming to her immediately following the VMAs in 2000 when she was 13 years old. As as the yet unnamed female celebrity purported who watched the alleged sexual situation, it perhaps goes without saying, but the disclosure of that person's identity would fuel yet another wave of public interest in the complaint. And like I said, when you go back and you look at what was being alleged, we know that at that time, Sean P. Diddy Combs, they're saying another female celebrity, Sean P. Diddy Combs was dating Jennifer Lopez at that time. So that's no, but like I said, for me, I don't believe it. I never believed it because like I said, once again, the young lady said that her father came and picked her up at 5 o'clock in the morning and drove 5 hours from Rochester, New York to New York City and drove back. And the father said he just simply didn't remember picking his 13-year-old daughter up after doing such a thing or something like that happening to her from that perspective. There's a lot of other misstatements and things that just didn't add up, if you will, in dealing with this situation. Jay-Z has always refuted the claims and revealed the accusers and, trying to find out who the accuser was. And Tony Busby had fired back, including by alleging that his former clients had been bribed to sue his namesake law firm. So, and they were saying that Jay-Z had put some people up to sue Tony Busby as some kind of retaliatory effort in regards to that, which hasn't been proven yet, if you will. Said that the Houston attorney, it was alleged in more words, had failed to thoroughly vet the accuser's claims against the NFL partner, Jay-Z. Busby rather unsurprisingly took issue with the vetting criticism. So Tony Busby had felt like, them stating that he didn't vet the accuser well enough before filing the case. He took issue with that. 1 month and multiple presumed discussions later, however, Jay-Z has opted to drop the sanctions motion without prejudice, meaning that if he wanted to, he can, refile this motion and ask for, the sanctions to be implemented back in another motion, if he will, when it's done without prejudice, and the presiding judge granted as such. As things stand now, Jay-Z, they don't really know. This is one of the moves. Like, the attorneys will talk, cooler heads will prevail. You talk about evidence, you talk about discovery, you talk about all of the things that a person would need to prove. And this is not a criminal case. This is a civil case, right? The things that the person would need to prove in order to be able to get over the hurdles in trying to obtain any kind of money from Jay-Z, who said he wasn't paying one red nickel to anybody in regards to the situation because he didn't do it. And so most people I've heard on the internet basically saying, they got Jay-Z. No, that's not how it works. Like I said, a lot of people on the internet, man, you got to be careful about the information that you digest nowadays from people on the internet. They will say anything to try to get you to click on their video to get views. Like I said, I thought it was crazy to say that Jay-Z would participate in something like this with Puffy, and then Jennifer Lopez being the person sitting there watching as if they were just demented people. It just didn't hold any weight. It never held any weight. But like I said, once again, the allegation and accusation gets the front page, but the dismissal usually makes the back page in the left side of the corner. You don't really hear as much because it's not as favorable for any kind of publicity and saying, oh, okay, you know what? He didn't do it, or people saying, oh, I still believe that he did it. And we've seen Jay-Z, like I said, at the Super Bowl, at the Grammys with his wife. And it's like, once again, these are the things that can happen. I don't know why it happened. Like I said, Jay-Z's attorney said basically this was a money grab. And from what I understand and can see, I wouldn't say that they were that far from the truth in their assessment of that. So next, in terms of what we currently know, the plaintiff today dropped. Listen now. Next, in terms of what we currently know, the plaintiff today dropped Diddy founded Bad Boy Records as a defendant. Did you hear that? So once again, in this same case, the plaintiff, the young lady, dropped Diddy's founded Bad Boy Records as a defendant. Why they were a defendant to begin with, who knows? Right? Once again, I guess they said we'll color it and sue Bad Boy, Diddy, his whatever else, and whatever else, went on from that perspective. And so, but that's another thing that really did not get any kind of press, if you will. See, now, usually if it's something that, Diddy's being charged with, it's front page. Once again, this did not make the press. Next, like I said, in terms of what we currently know, the plaintiff, the young lady in this case, along with Jay-Z dropped the sanctions motion, right? And we see that the plaintiff in this case dropped Diddy's Bad Boy Records as a defendant in this same case. You understand what I'm saying? So like I said, people are not really paying attention, and people want to hear the bad news. The bad news is always the good news for most people, because that's just how people like to deal with certain things. With Jay-Z, with Jay-Z shelved his, Jay-Z basically shelving the sanction motions, like basically taking them away. We can't tell you basically exactly, this is what they're saying, we can't tell you exactly what spurred the maneuver, but most people who know and understand that if they just drop Diddy as a defendant, Diddy's label, Bad Boy Records, as a defendant in the same case, and then Jay-Z goes and then drops the sanctions push, right? They're saying we can't tell you exactly what spurred that maneuver, but the corresponding filing indicates that Bad Boy Records alone has been dropped, not Diddy and Jay-Z or the many other Bad Boy defendants with prejudice, if you will. So once again, the case is still there, but I'm seeing, from what I understand, that the case will soon be dismissed or voluntarily dropped. There is no evidence. It's 30 years ago. You know what I mean? Like I said, but more importantly, Jay-Z drops the sanctions, and Bad Boy was dropped as a defendant. So you make of it what you will. Yeah, we're gonna keep you posted on this. I think this is very important. But like I said, Diddy's Bad Boy Records was dropped as a defendant in the Jane Doe case involving Diddy and Jay-Z also dropped the sanctions motion that he had filed against Tony Busby. Looks like the cooler heads are prevailing here, if you will. Like I said, your boy DELRAY, straight gang.